After feeling like a complete failure as a homemaker for years, I discovered the one toxic mindset that was sabotaging not just my peace, but my entire family. If you're a Christian mom who's ever felt like you're not doing enough, this mindset is probably destroying your home too. I'm talking about comparing your homemaking journey to other Christian moms. Do you ever find yourself doing it? It's almost hard to notice because it can be so subtle that we do it. I believe that we do this just about every day. Before you think this is just another feel-good message, let me tell you why God specifically warns us against this. Because whatever God tells us not to do will be toxic to those around us and our own health. Comment trapped if you've ever fallen into the comparison mindset as a homemaker. Maybe you've looked at another mom's spotless living room and wondered why your couch is always covered in crumbs and sippy cups. Or you've seen a mom post about her kids' perfect homeschool project while you're just trying to keep your toddler from coloring on the walls. It's so easy to slip into that mindset, isn't it? Especially when you're tired and just trying to survive another day. But here's what I want you to know. That comparison is literally poisoning your peace in your family's atmosphere. And it's probably happening more than you realize. Hi there, my name is Danielle, mother of 6 children. I help other homemakers lay down the lies and pick up God's truth so that they can steward their homes well. If you're in the right place, I would love if you would give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Comparing ourselves to others is so easy to do, especially if you're on social media or frustrated in your home. And here's what I've learned. That frustration doesn't always mean you're doing something wrong. Let me break this down into 2 main triggers. First, frustration in your home. If you're running a home with small children, you're naturally going to carry more stress than a mother with older children. Little kids push all sorts of buttons that older children don't. But a mother with older children has different frustrations than that of younger children. She isn't potty training, but she's instead facing other battles that very well may include patience on a whole new level. When we compare during these hard seasons, we automatically think we're failing. That may not be true at all. Both mothers may truly be going through a hard season in life, but actually are doing what they are called to be doing. Let's be real. Some days, just getting everyone dressed and fed feels like a victory. And when you see another mom who seems to be doing it all, homemade meals, sourdough bread, organized closets, smiling kids, it's hard not to wonder, what am I missing? But the truth is, every mom has her own struggles, even if you can't see them. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like in real life. You wake up with good intentions, maybe you've even had your quiet time and felt peaceful. But then you see that mom on social media who meal prepped for 2 weeks, has a color-coordinated playroom, and her kids are doing advanced math while yours are fighting over who gets the blue cup. Suddenly your gratitude turns to inadequacy. Second is the social media comparison. I'll never forget this one night recently. I was getting ready for bed, completely at peace and relaxed. Then I made the worst mistake possible for a restful night's sleep. I opened up Instagram. The first post I saw was of a family traveling in a renovated bus, and instantly I started comparing. She must be such an amazing mother. Look at me, I can't even handle things in a 5-bedroom house. Down further the comparison trap goes. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. The truth is, I don't know her real story when the cameras are off. Maybe her life truly is as good as it looks. But I was comparing my behind-the-scenes reality to her highlight reel. And hey, behind the scenes here really isn't that bad. But how I feel some days doesn't always line up. I remember one day after a long afternoon of tantrums and spilled snacks, I scrolled through my phone and saw a mom sharing her perfectly decorated playroom. I felt this wave of defeat, like I was failing my kids because our playroom looked like a tornado hit it. But what you don't see in those pictures is the mess just outside of the frame or the tears that mom might have cried earlier that day. That night I was telling you about, after I saw that traveling family, I started spiraling. I began mentally redecorating our entire house, planning elaborate educational activities I'd never have time for, and even questioning whether we should sell everything and buy an RV. I know that my husband wouldn't let us do that. All because of one Instagram post. And here's the crazy part. I was lying in my comfortable bed in our home that God had blessed us with, next to my husband who worked so hard to provide for us, with 6 healthy children sleeping peacefully down the hall. Comment guilty if you've ever looked at someone else's social media and felt like you were failing as a homemaker. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like you're the only one struggling, even though deep down you know every mom has hard days. But here's what I discovered that changed everything. This comparison doesn't just hurt you, it damages everyone around you. When you compare your unique life to someone else's, what are you really saying to God? You're saying, you didn't call me right. You're not equipping me properly. You're not enough. I'm not happy with what you've given me right now. We probably start complaining with what is actually a blessing in our own life. Or perhaps we forget in those moments everything that God has done, all the mountains that He has moved. And it gets worse. This comparison and complaining quickly turns into ungratefulness, which tells your husband he's not providing well enough. It shows your children, even if no words are involved, that mom is never satisfied with what God has blessed our family with. Maybe we change the actual definition of what blessing means. When we let comparison take root, it doesn't just steal our joy, it changes the atmosphere in our home. Our kids pick up on our stress. Our husbands feel our disappointment and think it is them. We start to believe the lie that we're not enough. But God didn't make mistakes when He gave you your family, your home, and your unique calling as their wife and mom. When we're constantly comparing, we become those moms who can never truly enjoy the present moment. We're always thinking about what we don't have instead of celebrating what we do have. The grass is greener on the other side, right? Our children start to sense our dissatisfaction. They hear us sighing when we look at our kitchen. They feel our tension when we're scrolling on our phones. They notice when we're not fully present because we're mentally redesigning our lives. If this is hitting home, hit that subscribe button right now, because next week I'm sharing God's actual design for your unique home, and it's going to blow your mind. You won't want to miss it. Let me share 2 warning signs that you're caught in this toxic comparison trap. Warning sign number 1, you feel like you're never doing enough, even when you're exhausted. No matter how much you work, it's never enough. Despite working hard in motherhood and homemaking, you constantly feel like you're falling short. This can be trying to keep up with the Joneses. Warning sign number 2, you scroll social media and leave feeling absolutely discouraged. Those perfect homes and well-behaved children make you feel inadequate about your own life. You find yourself thinking things like, I would be happy if I had that. If only my kitchen were as big as that one, then I could be happy and be less overwhelmed. I would be less overwhelmed if I had the perfect homeschool setup like that mom does. Here's what God says about this in 2 Corinthians 10:12. Not that we dare to classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves, but when they measure themselves by one another and compare themselves with one another, they are without understanding. Did you catch that? Without understanding. When we compare, we literally lose our ability to see clearly. Comment convicted if you realize comparison has been stealing your peace as a homemaker. Now, if you are feeling convicted, please know that you're not alone. We're all in this together, learning to let go of comparison and embrace the unique story God is writing for our families. Tag a mom friend who needs this reminder that God has a unique calling on her life, and let's encourage each other to focus on what really matters. Next episode, in part 2, I'm revealing God's unique design for your home and why every Christian family looks different by divine intention. You're going to discover why comparing homes is actually rejecting God's specific plan for your family. And in part 3, I'll give you 3 biblical actions to break free from this comparison trap forever. I'll see you in the next video when we dive into God's beautiful design for your one-of-a-kind home.